everyone, Jasper here from Regard, and we're back to a new Simpsons review. And if y'all didn't see the last one, we started season 2. Yeah, if y'all didn't see the last one, we began season 2. And this episode 2, is a really shocking one, I can just say. But really good. Again, season 2 is doing good with the first 2 episodes that I've seen. So the episode starts with Homer, Marge's sisters, Maggie, Santa's little helper, Bart and Lisa watching one of those game shows, kind of like with Daffy, or on the Looney Tunes show, when Daffy said Oprah, and then the president of the United States, and he said Oprah, and then the, spaghetti and meatball recipes, and then he said oranges, but, something like that, and Bart, everybody's getting it wrong except Marge's sisters, and Homer then sees a commercial about hair. Yeah, about hair, and Marge is trying to make a point that you don't have to have hair bald people don't have to have hair to be loved, pretty much, and I guess that's what it's trying to go with. And Homer is trying to get some stuff for him to have hair. But, again, his budget can't offer it with him. Which he is having fish sticks with his friends. And he runs out of tartar sauce. And then he goes back, and the guy he was talking to earlier does say to meet him in the alley and go along. So he meets with the alley while he's, one of those suspicious things. So he starts rubbing it on his head, and then he starts combing it while he's hanging upside down, and then he prays to God, saying, saying, why does this bald man have to suffer? Or don't let him suffer. Something like that. Then, in the next morning, he's got hair. Yep, Homer's got hair. And he starts shouting it out. He goes around the neighborhood shouting that he's got hair. And he goes to a haircut. He gets his hair cut. His veins trimmed. And he hasn't went to a haircut. He hasn't got his hair cut in 20 years, as the guy who usually gets his haircut says. Which Marg said to her sisters that he's much happier. Even they're surprised with how Homer is with hair. And even his friends are trying to guess what's different about him. Then Mr. Burns wants to see Homer. And all the women that Homer tries to hire is trying to make him out. And then a guy called Carl comes in and eventually gets him set up. And it turns out it's Marge's and Homer's anniversary. But she actually gives him an okay excuse to miss the anniversary. But Homer got her an anniversary of a guy singing for Homer. And actually, it was Carl's idea. Yeah, Carl's idea for his anniversary. So, the staff meeting starts, and Homer describes how the whole tartar sauce thing, and Mr. Burns likes the idea, and more tartar sauce. And he gets on the paper. Yeah, he gets on the paper, which is really good for Homer. And Homer then gets the key. They call it the key, which is in the very disgusting bathroom. And it's really weird seeing Homer with hair. He opens the doors, and he dries his boss's hands off. And yeah, things are gonna not go very well. And again, Homer is really enjoying this. And then Mr. Burns' assistant, I just say, basically says that there's somebody that's been interrupting with the business and stuff, and saying that Homer is fired. But Carl sacrifices his job to save Homer, and he gets fired instead. And Homer did say that he didn't have to do it. Carl didn't have to do it, but again, he did it for Homer. Which he says his farewells to Carl. And Bart, then we see Bart having the idea to use the stuff that his dad used to make him have a mustache. And we see like a thought process. So he's spraying it on his face. Some of it spills. Homer runs, starts choking Bart, and says that he's not going to kill him, but he's going to give him 3 things. That he ruined his dad's life. He's basically ruined the family, and yeah, pretty much he gave 3 examples. So Homer is trying to get Marge for the $100, but as we can see, yeah, Homer's back to being bald. And we get another suicide joke of Mr. Burns' assistant coming in saying, telling Homer hopefully he's not planning on hanging himself. And yeah, we get a letter from Carl, and it turns out Carl's actually there. But Homer is saying that he can't do anything because he's bald. But Carl's saying that he did do all of it, and it wasn't with the hair. And then he kisses Homer, and then telling him that he's got it. He's got this speech. Which he does attend the speech, but everybody starts to leave. Then he's sentenced to Mr. Burns. But Mr. Burns is actually going to let him have his old job back. Because Mr. Burns described how he used to have curly hair and then he got bald after his senior kind of year. And Homer is worried that the kids are going to hate him for breaking the promises of buying the stuff that he promised, and that Marge wouldn't love him. But they make out, and everything's all fine and good. And a real great episode into the episode. So yeah, our episode 2 is really good of season 2. I really liked it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments section down below. I would really like to know. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Catch y'all next one.